want to just dig into a little bit of go slowly through the 8 moves, or kind of what they are and their
Hmm.
intention. You
Yeah.
mentioned first was neck circles.
You
Uh, yeah, so
Sure.
explain
And
audio
so
best that you
for our
can without
golfers,
anybody seeing
we
you.
kind of threw in a couple other ones that have a little bit more of a golf motion to it, just to get them doing a few things. But the basic ones are simply, yeah,
Okay.
neck circles. It's exactly what you would think. Pretend you have like a pencil sticking out of the top of your head, and then all you're going to do is try to draw as big of a circle as you can. So
Okay.
keep your mouth closed when you do this, because as you reach up, you'll notice that your mouth tends to open up. But you're going to tip your chin down to your chest, and then you're simply going to roll your head all the way around. Again, kind of drawing that big circle with that pencil on top of your head, and you're going to do it really slow. I mean, take 5 to 10 seconds to make one pass of it. And as you're doing it, you're really just trying to make that motion as big as you can. One word of caution is if you do feel pain as you're doing it, like if you're when you're going to one side, if you feel pain on the side that you're bending towards, don't push into that pain. Like if it's more of a pinching, you don't want to pinch into that. Just work your way around it. But if you have pain kind of on the opposite side, like on
Yeah.
the stretching side, the stretch is an okay discomfort. But if it's on the bent side, that's more of a pinch, and you don't want to pinch through anything. But
Gotcha. Okay.
that holds true with
I'm
any of them.
assuming
Yeah,
does that
you
hold
don't.
true with
You want
any
to.
of these with
It's
the
good to
pinching,
continue
stretching?
with the movement, but just
Okay.
stay
Cool.
away from the painful area, because the movement again brings the blood flow. The movement does a lot of good things, and many times you'll
Gotcha.
find that after you do it several times, it starts to ease up that discomfort, and you'll be able to get through that full range of motion. Yeah.
Hmm. Awesome. Okay, so we started with neck
Next
circles.
one,
What's
I go into
what's next
the
on the
I call them
eight or
scapular
nine
circles.
list?
So that would be more like your shoulder blade. So you think of, you've seen guys doing shrugs at the gym with the weights. You kind of shrugging up towards your ears. Well, you're going to do basically one arm at a
Yeah.
time, and you're not only just going to shrug up towards your ears, then you're going to pull the whole shoulder blade back behind you, and then you're going to drop the shoulder all the way down, and then you're going to kind of roll it forward. So I think of doing I'm almost doing like a reverse shoulder roll. And if I was standing up, you'd see my arm is just dangling at the side. I'm trying to keep the arm pretty straight, and then I would reverse it. So all of these you're going to do basically both ways
Okay.
too. You'll do clockwise, counterclockwise,
Yeah.
and we just tell everybody do 3 to 5 repetitions. Um,
Hmm.
the more time
Gotcha.
you have, the slower you'll want to do them. But if some days I have to kind of rush through them because I'm in a time crunch. But some days it takes 5 minutes to do this. Some days I'll spend 30 minutes doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Is there
Control.
advantage doing one
Yeah, you're
shoulder
going to
at a
find that
time versus
one
both
you're
of them?
probably better with one than the other. The shoulder blade's a funny one because most people have never really done that all by itself, and it's harder to do. You'll find that you're going to want to kind of like bend your head towards your shoulder, or you're going to see like your elbow kicking back and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a way to kind of concentrate a little bit more on
I
that one
gotcha.
side versus the other side. There are many days where I do them both together, again, more to save time than anything. But if you're just starting out, I would highly suggest do the right side, then the left
Yeah.
side, just so you can separate the two out.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Scapula, yeah, because then the
All
next one
right.
is
So
more of like
neck,
I would call this the
shoulders,
shoulder circle, where
and
it's more of a
scapulas.
full arm, almost like a
What's three?
windmill, where you're trying to do the whole arm going up over your head and then back behind your
Okay.
back. Again, kind of hard to explain just via audio, but if you were standing straight up, you put your right arm straight out in front of you, and then you raise your arm all the way up over your head as high as you can get. Then you're going to rotate the arm to where your hand goes kind of outward, and then you drive the arm back behind your back. And then you reverse it going the other way too. Now the key on this one is really
Yeah,
trying to
so
keep your shoulders and chest square, where it's really just the motion at the shoulder. So the cheat would be kind of doing, rotating your whole body when you're trying to do it. I think of like a pinwheel. You try to be as much like a pinwheel or a windmill. Uh, that visual.
yeah, that's a good visual for it. And if anybody's getting lost at this point, and I will be posting the full video of this 8 movements on Instagram, so you can go follow me at jcheese, JAE cheese, and it'll be there. Or if you just search Jace Craft, you'll find me. Okay, so we have the scapular circles, which is the shoulder movement, the arm just dangling. Then we have the arm circles, which is the full arm, kind of as high as you can reach, as low as you can
So
reach.
the next one, this is one that we've kind of
back and
adapted a little
forward.
bit.
What
from,
is number
from Dr.
4?
Spina's. This is more, we do just kind of a rotation. You can either do this seated or standing, but just really trying to rotate your shoulders. So my hips are staying still on my chair, and I'm trying to rotate my shoulders as far as I can, really rotate my whole chest and everything. And I'm doing that by using those muscles on the back side of my, so whichever side I'm turning to, I'm using the muscles on the back side of my shoulder, trying to pull myself into that rotation, as opposed to taking this side and kind of pushing into rotation, if that makes sense. So that allows me to really kind of pull around my spine a little bit more, and you'll feel those muscles in your back working. And that's a really crucial piece for our golfers especially. But a lot of people lose function in their thoracic spine, and they lose that good rotation, and that can lead to a lot of shoulder problems. That can even lead to elbow problems, tennis elbow, golf elbow. Again, if one part's not working, another area of your body has to work harder to catch up.
Yeah. Totally, you're speaking my language on this one, because my elbows have always been notoriously not great. My shoulders have no range of motion. They do a little bit now. I've been working on them, but when I got out of college, it was
it's like a golfer that
they
does
could
nothing
do the
but swing a
running
golf
form,
club, right?
and that was it.
Get good at your one thing, and you can't stray from that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so 4 is rotating the torso. You're pulling with your back as opposed to pushing with your opposite shoulder. You're going to do that both ways. And then
the next one would be what I call hip circles. And this is
number 5, which
I won't be able to do it since I'm attached to the cord to the computer. But standing up, basically, it's almost like you're going to bring one leg up in front, like one knee up in front, almost to 90 degrees. And then think of it as almost like stepping backwards over a hurdle to your side.
Okay.
So you're going to step backwards, and then you're going to bring that leg back up and over into the front. Again, even on this video, you can see as I'm mimicking it with my hand, I'm kind of like bending my chest.
Gotcha.
The key here, again, is everything else should be nice and tall and straight, while you're only working on that one piece. So as you bring that leg up, you're going to then bring it out to the side and kind of go up and over the hurdle, bring it down. Gotcha. So it's very similar to the arm circle. Then you're going to bring that one in front.
Gotcha. And just as a reminder, you're not going through the circle, like it's not a complete circle over and over.
Right.
You're going to essentially almost a complete circle, then starting over and coming back. So it's kind of like a C. Question on this one: do you keep your foot kind of like down underneath your knee the whole time, or do you bring it out to like swing it out to the side like you would
actually
be
do bring
trying to
that
get as
foot
high
up,
over the hurdle,
like you're
or
trying
is
to
it
bring the
just
foot
on
up
the
over
hip?
the hurdle first? If I can, let's see if I can kind of stand back here. So it would be more like coming up, out, and then you bring it up like that, and then you drive it back around, and then you come up and over this way again.
Gotcha.
Hopefully that helps a little bit.
That makes sense.
And again, these visuals will be on number 6.
Yeah.
Sarah, we'll probably
And again, these visuals will be on Instagram. Number 6. After we're
Yeah.
probably moving down the chain here, so you're gonna really work
So
on
the
how
next
to
one that we do,
show this.
we just skip over
what
to
comes after hip
the ankle.
circles?
There is a knee one, but we don't have everybody do that one. But again, very important. The knee is more of a hinging joint, which is why I don't put as much emphasis on it. If we're trying to get our golfers to do anything, we're trying to minimize as much as we need them to do. So, but the ankle is really, you kind of lock your shin however you want.
Totally.
So you can kind of like hold your leg, and then basically you're just doing a big circle with your foot very slowly, trying to point in every single direction, just, doing a big rotation, trying to feel all the muscles working in every direction. So you'll do 3 to 5 of them one way, and then also do it back the other way. And you'll feel, sometimes you might even get cramping in the bottom of your foot. You might get cramping in some of those muscles up along the side of your ankle. And again, that cramping is really just the fact that you don't use those muscles very often, or you don't use them that hard. And so your body's trying to figure out what to do. So we tell our golfers, like, we want you to experience that cramp, because that cramp is now telling your brain how to react and what it's trying to do. So don't always bail out of a cramp when you get it. If it's something like, you're dehydrated after a 50-mile run or something, that's different. But if it's you just going through a simple little motion and you get a cramp in a muscle, it's usually not so much a dehydration as it is a muscle confusion kind of a thing.
cool. So we got a couple more ankle or foot.
Totally.
Well,
totally.
the other two
Cool.
that we
So,
do are
I'm
more
assuming we got a couple
the one with
more
the cat and
ankle
camel.
or foot
I think a
ones,
lot of people are probably
coming up
familiar
here.
with that, where you're on your hands and your knees, and you're really just kind of arching your back up as high as you can get
gotcha.
it, and then you're kind of letting it sag as low as you can. And that's same principle. But it's getting the discs in the spine to move. So we're getting all those joints to move in a flexion and extension pattern. And then the other one would be sitting on the ground, getting in what I call the 90-90 position, where your hips are basically, this is kind of hard to explain, but one leg is out in front of you, and you've got your knee bent to 90 degrees, you've got your hip bent at 90 degrees, and then your other leg is also kind of back a little bit with the knee bent to 90 degrees, and you're basically sitting there trying to sit up as tall as you can. Can you?
Top of a hurdle, like if you're going over.
Yeah, very much so.
Gotcha.
Very much so. And then you start from that
top of a
position,
hurdle.
and then
Like if
you
you're
try
going
to do it
over a
without
hurdle.
using your hands. You try to roll and rotate over to the other side, where you can flip your legs to then, if you're starting with your left leg in front of you, you're kind of like rolling on your butt to flip over to where your right leg is in front, if that makes sense. Sorry for everyone listening that has no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You cannot do that, you said?
Yeah.
I
I absolutely
Jace, come on, man. We got to get you doing these things. And to be honest,
not even close.
Much like you, when I played soccer, I did nothing but soccer, and I ran, and figuring like, hey, I'm running, my legs are getting a bunch of workout, and but had I known to do this stuff for sure, but some of the strength training stuff, it's amazing how much further along I think my soccer career would have gone. But for all the runners, all the endurance athletes that are listening, these little things could really help you with a lot of those nagging injuries and ailments that you guys have. Because I know that, as much pounding as you put your body through going through these long endurance races or the trail runs or the obstacle courses, these are the things that will help get all of those little joints moving that aren't used to moving. And that's going to allow your body to function a lot more efficiently.